Halls of 4 seasons lost. In Austin, I saw him pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice. Then it's his to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often bears a pit, clip, ready from ear to ear. Craving and raining in rain, rekindle the flame. Close as she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know I've heard this. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our word is. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise, in paradise. Truth is what you can see.
Boom. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour on Manic Monday when all the crazies come out. Everybody's all fired up about the weekend and what happened. Their teams winning, losing, and all of that. So today we're starting a little early. OEG knocked on my door and said, hey, we're going to be taking your power away in about 20 minutes. I was like, okay, great. Well, that's not going to help me, so let me start the show now. And I've got my power supply, which gives me a little bit of time to do this. After they shut us off, we'll still be rolling. So we'll see how that works. But anyway, great weekend of sports for some. One of the teams, Oklahoma State football won, which was great. What a great game that was. My Yankees, on the other hand, got swept, and I had to be reminded of that. Went to the Thunder game, first home game last night, and we'll talk about that. In fact, we're going to start off with that, and had a little bit of a tussle in the stands. My guy Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com brought both of his daughters to the game, and they were sitting behind me. And so Amelia and Faith were sitting like directly behind me. So, you know, if you've been to a Thunder game, you know they shoot the T-shirts up, and we're in club level. One shirt comes up, Amelia gets her shirt, and Faith is kind of looking, and Faith is the younger one. And so Faith is kind of looking like, oh, I don't get a shirt, whatever. So then one comes up, and it lands right in the seat next to me. And I'm leaning over trying to grab it. And then this guy, older man, that's sitting in front of me, tries to reach and steals it. So boom, I arm block him. Like, dude, what you're doing? I'm giving this to this little girl. Her sister has a T-shirt. She needs a T-shirt. And he goes, well, unlock my arm, unlock my arm. I go, no, let me get this shirt. And he goes, if you unlock my arm, she can have it. I said, okay. So I unlock his arm. He reaches for it. I went, boom. I locked him up again. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You're going to give this shirt to your wife. You're not going to give it to a little girl because you're a jackass right off the bat for trying to do that when I told you I'm giving it to a little girl. And then you try to reach and do it again. Bro, really? I've got this. So anyway, I'm glad Drew did not have any videos. But it kind of made me mad because I'm like, what is wrong with you people? It's a child. It's a little girl. A little girl. You're a grown man. And you're trying to fight me over a T-shirt for a little 4-year-old. Really? Is that what we're doing? Well, guess what? You lost. Faith won. She got a T-shirt, all right? So, whatever, dude. Anyway, that being said, let's talk about the Thunder game last night. The Thunder, of course, come up short. I'm glad I got to go to the game because I got to see in person what I had been looking at this year. And you can see what I did is, like I told you last week, that I'm going to do halftime and final score stats so we can kind of put those together so you can kind of see the difference in what happened in the first half and the adjustments that were made. Now, in our loss to Denver, we made some fantastic adjustments from first half to second half. This game we're down 53-44, shooting 40%. The Wolves were 2 for 13, we were 8 for 23. Now check these are 3-point stats. Okay, so check that. Rebounding, we had 16 rebounds, they had 30. Now my keys to the game were really simple. from the very beginning. My keys were protect the paint. Or here, let me go over them. I did not leave them on there, and normally I do have those on here, but I was kind of in a hurry to get done before my electricity is cut off by OG&E so they can do some line service. Nice of them to let you know, though. Anyway, keep the pips close, which is the points in the paint. They had 32 the first half. We had 22. My second one was keep them in front of us. Not them shoot. They shot 50%. Play within ourselves, which means those guys that, the Baisleys and Dorts, don't try to do more than what you're capable of. Don't settle for threes. Okay, that was my first. Those were my thoughts earlier in the day when I came up with my keys. And for those that you know me, I don't make up the keys. I make up the keys before the game starts. I don't do them after I watch the game, and then I make them up and put them on my show on After the Storm, OKC Thunder. I do these before, and those people with me know that I don't cheat and do that. That's ridiculous. That's petty. If you don't know what the hell you're doing before, or what your keys are before, then watching the game, then what the hell are you doing? Anyway, the final score ended up being 116-106. And if you had the hook like Drew did of HuskerDrewPicks.com, he was happy because he got the under and Thunder 10.5. He was all fired up about that. No, Randy Wright, Commander, this is not the W. He's sending me a text. This is the WWE SmackDown Hour. No, it is not. But, you were sitting back there. Well, Kimberly wanted to punch the dude, too. So, hey, you need to get her under control. Well, no, nobody's going to control Kimberly. We've all know that. But, dude, it was just bad. But anyway, let's get back to the thing. Anyway, 116-106. If you had the hook, of course, they got it. They were happy. The Thunder with the under and 10.5. So he was all about it. But you can see 3-point shooting the first half. The Wolves were 2 for 13, 10 for 34. Okay, which means they were 8 for 21. That is a misleading number simply because of the simple fact that they missed shots at the end, which allowed us to get a 10-0 run to come within 10. But they were knocking down shots right there through a period of time. And I want to say they were 5 for 6, 5 for 7 like that, and they extended the game and put us away. So that number is misleading. Really, if you watch the game, you would have saw that, which is why I like to go and watch in person. The Thunder, 8 for 23, 9 for 41. So we were 1 for 18 from 3 the second half. And what is my thing? Stop settling for threes. I've said that for my game 1, game 2, and this game for my keys. Don't settle for threes. And we didn't in game 2. We almost beat them, but without SGA, we're just in trouble. Anyway, ended up shooting 43%, which we improved in the second half. A lot of that had to do with the bench players coming in. Rebounds, 54-42, and you can see where we really caught up to them in the points in the paint in the second half. We did a nice adjustment, and that's how we got back in the game in the first place to cut it close, and then they just went on a tear, and it was over. But anyway, 11 turnovers. I love what the Thunder are doing. They are taking care of the basketball, and that I like. And then when you look at team stats, this tells it all right here. Giddey, 10 points, 5 of 11, 0 for 2. Dort, 6 for 15, 2 for 7. Now, the reason why he had more shots than Giddey is because Giddey did not play the fourth quarter and didn't play the end of the third quarter. So I was just like, I didn't understand what Coach D was doing with the starting lineup he had in the fourth quarter, because in the fourth quarter, my guy Randy Wright, we were sitting there, we were talking, and then he came out and the score was 74-82 to start the fourth. Okay, he came out with Poku, Dang, Omen Yuri, Dort, and Wiggins. And Randy goes, I'm out of here. He goes, I'm out of here. I'm not watching that. And guess what happened? They went on a run and the game was over. Game was over. Okay, with 6 minutes left, it was 84-104. It just went boom. Game was over. Just like that. Anyway, you can see Poku, 2, 1 for 6, 0 for 2. He and Baisley, they had him on the court at the same time. and literally they were on for about 2 minutes in the second quarter. You put them both in there. The game was close, and they went on a 6-0 run, 8-0, 6, I think it was 8-2 run or 10-2 run. Boom, you had to snatch them out in 2 minutes. Neither one of those guys are just, I mean, like I said, I like Poku, but he is a guy that needs to be on a team that runs full court. He needs to be in a transitional type team where you can snatch the rebound and go coast to coast. They run. That is not our style. We are a half court offense. We slow it down. We slow the games because we just don't have the athletes. We can't run up and down the floor. We're not like Golden State. We don't have the shooters to do that. To be a running gun team, you have to have shooters. Trey Mann, 10 points, 5 for 12. He did not play the fourth quarter at all. It was clear that I think the coaching staff was like, okay, here are other players. We're going to play them. We have the Clippers on Tuesday and Thursday this week at home. We're going to try to stay healthy for that, and we're just going to see what these other guys can do. Isaiah Joe had 2 points. I really like what he did. Jalen Williams played quite a bit of time. I think he had 8 minutes, 10 minutes, and it was all in the fourth quarter. 4 points, 2 for 4, 6 boards. I like the kid. He hustles, he plays hard, and I think, unlike Omenyuro, he is a better fit. He can actually score, and he's bigger body. I mean, he's taller, but Omenyuro is just physical. He did a great job on Karl Anthony Towns. I thought, trying to keep him under control. But anyway, Lindy Waters doing what Lindy Waters does. Muscala has been he was great Saturday night. 11 points, 4 for 6, 1 for 3, 9 boards, which I was like, yay, Muscala on the boards. How about that? So I was excited to see that. But anyway, Muscala's got to score points because if he's not shooting, there's no reason to have him out there because he's a liability. Dang, on the other hand, he finally got on the board, 6 rebounds, 5 points, 2 for 6, 1 for 3, finally scored. Hopefully that was watch him or help him get more confidence. And I watched him play, and the thing that my takeaway from him is he's a project. He has got some ability, no question. He's nice and long. He had, 2 blocks last night? 3 blocks. And then he altered 2 or 3 more shots. So he is long. He's a nice rim protector, kind of, but he's 6'10". He's okay, but would I've given up that much for him? No. But, Sam Presti has a plan, and whatever his plan is, we have to follow through it. But my takeaway is, one, if SGA is not there, we're in a lot of trouble. He is our alpha. He is our guy. He is our star. The team revolves around what he does. Josh comes in second, and I wish we could have had the stats from Saturday night's game when we almost beat the Nuggets, because of the simple fact that it was just what I had been saying all along at the end of last year, first of this year. It has to be SGA scoring. Giddey has to have the second most shots. Dort needs to cut down on the number of shots he does. Trey needs to add 1 or 2 shots. Robinson Earl needs to add some shots to his game. And he's our best three-point shooter that we have, along with Muscala. But yet last night, Trey is cutting through the basket, and he's looking to score. Well, you got Muscala wide open. You have Robinson Earl wide open for 3. You didn't even look and turn the ball over both times because you're trying to figure out how to score in the paint. You're not SGA. You're a nice little role player that comes in on the second unit, gets some shots up, keeps our offense flowing, but you're not the guy that can take over the game. And against Nuggets, he did the same thing. He tried to take over at the end of the game. No, the team belongs to SGA, then Giddey, and if you're in the game, then you're third, then Dort is fourth. Okay? That's how it should run through the Thunder process, or the Thunder players that should run through that. So that's kind of the way I see it, the way that I think that it should go for the Thunder, making everything go. So anyway, now, of course, we had a full day of NBA. Here are the scores from yesterday. You had the Hornets beating the Hawks 126-109. Drew might have to rethink his pick, and we're going to redo those tomorrow. My power rankings and Drew's power rankings for the NBA and NFL. We will do that tomorrow. But the Hornets, surprisingly, look at them. They're on fire. They're doing what they need to do. The poor Lakers, God, they're terrible. I mean, when we're looking at their stats, they were 6 from 33 from outside. Down the stretch, they were 0 for 4 from 3. They're shooting 18%. They are 25 for 108 from 3. 118. I thought the Thunder are not that bad. That is just, it's it's painful, and yet they still shoot threes. I don't understand. It's like the other day, Trey, you're 0 for 6 and you're still shooting threes. What the hell are you doing? If you're 0 for 6, do not shoot threes. Pull it in, pull up a mid range. And a perfect example was yesterday. Anthony Edwards missed a couple threes. Then he comes back, he pump fakes, and it takes one dribble, pulls up in mid range. The Thunder, what they do, they pull up, sidestep, and shoot another three. Hey, you didn't miss. Come and get a mid range. I don't understand what it is with the Thunder not taking mid range shots. 2 points are better than no points. That's kind of how I look at it. But anyway, the Lakers were terrible. Wizards, 107. The Cavs, 117. The Cavs, definitely one of my surprise teams that I had picked for this year. Jazz continue to win. Well, I don't know what's up with them. 122, 121 over the Pelicans. Great game, but the Cavs doing, the Jazz winning, even though they got rid of everybody. It seems like they're doing a fantastic job there. Danny Ainge, one of the smartest GMs. I hated him as a player because he was a Boston Celtics. T-Wolves, like I said, we just talked about the game, beating the Thunder 116-106. I'm not sold on that team as a group. I just think that the Thunder did a good job. I like what they're doing they double-teamed Karl Anthony Towns out on the three, kind of like what they did with the Joker on Saturday night. And I like what they were doing with that because one-on-one he's just too powerful. But if we double-team, get the ball out of his hand, swing it, making somebody else beat you. Thought that was a good philosophy. Now, it didn't work against the Nuggets the second half because they do have the two-time defending MVP, and Jokic just made us look bad in the second half. He figured it out, which is what great players do. The Kings gave the Warriors all they wanted, and they do every time, 125-130. The Warriors, of course, came away with the W, but the Kings just give them fits every time they play each other. I don't know what it is about those two teams, but they absolutely give them fits. It is just amazing how that works. Suns, 112 over the Clippers. How about that? The daunted Clippers, the best team. Whatever, y'all tripping. Suns are better than the Clippers, and that's why I don't understand why these people are falling in love with the Clippers and Paul George and Kawhi, even though Kawhi never plays. I just don't understand the thought process behind and why people love them so much. I just don't get it. But the Suns took care of business, smashed them as they should have. So, like I said, that's enough of the Clippers. I'm not a Clippers fan. I'm not. They're the JETS Mets, as Drew of Husker Drew Picks likes to call them. Anyway, at the Thunder game last night, I'm going to say this. I enjoyed when you looked up in Loud City. It was 3/4 full, which for a whole first game on a Sunday at 7 o'clock was a lot because of the simple fact kids got to go to school the next day. That's kind of late for a game on a Sunday night. But, man, they were loud. They were good. I like the fact that they're filling that up. The lower bowl in the 100s was decent, about 3/4, 2/3. But club level, I was extremely disappointed, which is where we sit in the attendance in club level. Now, I don't know why that was, but there just was not a lot there was club seats open everywhere in the section that we sit in. There was probably 30 seats that nobody was sitting in and just in the section that we were at. So that's got to change people. Listen, we have a young team. And when you have a young team, on the road is fine. They can go handle on the road because of the simple fact that you're on the road, so you have each other together. You have your few fans that come, but for the most part, you're together as a group, so you tend to bond and to fight as a group against everybody else. But when you're at home, you need the crowd. I promise you that when we were really, really good, the Thunder were really, really good, I promise you the crowd probably won, out of 41 home games, I want to say because of the Oklahoma City crowd, I want to say that they probably won 5 to 10 games because of the crowd, because of the energy. Games would be close or we'd be falling behind. All of a sudden, crowd goes crazy, starts getting energized the players. Here comes a dunk, here comes a three, whatever. And then the Thunder go on a run and win the game. You make a difference. I know you don't really care. Maybe they're not, what you want to see as a team right now. But promise you, they need the help. They need you to come support them. They need you. They need your help. Come to the games. They're not as bad as you think. We're 0-3, but it's not like, except we got blown out last night. But other than that, those other 2 games, we were right there. And I can promise you, we're only a couple players away, really, truly. And you know me, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to be honest with you. We're a couple players away. Now, I would prefer to get a veteran or two with those 3 or 4 picks that Sam Presti gave for Jang. I'd much I would much rather give those 2, sign of somebody, get you a veteran that we have for 2-3 years. I would have much rather have done that, but he wants to go to the youth movement, and I get that. But the problem with youth is growing pains. But on the other side of that, Weminyama, the phenom or whatever everybody's in love with, they were like, well, maybe the Thunder want him. Why would we'd have 2 7-footers? What are you gonna do with that? You're not gonna win with that. Why would you even think that? Give me Scoot. Give me a guard that can score, that's 6'5" like Jaden Ivey. Give me that. Give me a dynamic guy who can shoot, who can defend. Give me that. Don't give me another 7-footer. He can't defend out on the perimeter. Who's he gonna defend? He's 7 foot. Who's Chet gonna defend out there in the perimeter 7 foot? Nobody. These guys are too quick, too athletic. No, I'm completely against that. But I don't think the Thunder are in a losing mode. I think the Thunder are young. They've got some potential. I like what I see, and I think you should go watch them. And I think it's crazy that people are like, oh, I don't watch them there. Go watch the game. You'll be surprised how quickly and easily you get into the game and love what you're seeing on the court. We have a nice product. And remember, we're one of 30. There's only 30 teams, and we have one of them. And we're a small market. You think St. Louis wouldn't want a team? You think Seattle don't want their team back after they lost them? Because they realize what an NBA team means. But because they'd had one for so long, they got arrogant. And they lost their team. You think St. Louis is not happy that they lost their football team, the Rams? Guys, go support your team. Why do you think downtown is growing? Why do you think that Bricktown and all that's expanding? Why do you think we have an NBA team? How do you think we got the Omni Hotel? The Omni Hotel is not going to come to Oklahoma City, but you have the Thunder. We're going to build a new arena. It's going to be beautiful. Ours is 20 years old. It's old. It's still nice. It's not great, though. If you go to Golden State's facility, the Mavericks going to get something new soon. I mean, you got to go get something and see what the nice stuff is. Go get a nice facility. That's what you got to have. You got to have more room. You got to have more stuff for kids. You got to have all this other restaurants and different things so people will be willing to come down early and have dinner. We don't go there. We stop and we go somewhere else. We go to Manhattan, or you go to Mahogany, or you go to Mickey Mantle's or the Mantle. Why would I want to go there in the City of the Thunder? I don't want to eat there. Unless I got to, I'm late. Whatever I go, now the burgers are good, and their hot dogs and stuff like that that's good. But why would I want to do that? I want to go eat and have a good dinner. So that being said, let's take a quick break and thank our sponsors and Collaborative Logic. I want to thank Collaborative Logic. If you have any IT needs, they are the people that you want to talk to. They can come in. They can make you streamline your office and make things better. And all of your equipment, if you want to expand or you want to grow, they can help you grow your office and equipment. SRB and Mark Long, call them up if you have any engineering, surveying, or planning. Those are the people that you want to talk to. Oak Grove Trucking. My guy Jose Fierro. Sorry about your Broncos last night, brother. We'll be talking about them. Oh boy, they look terrible. 9 points again, shocking. Uh, but Oak Grove Trucking, if you got any needs to haul off any rocks and dirt, those are your people. Then, of course, Greg and Max Nafee at Knife Co. And last but not least, Y&B, family owned and operated since 1912. The bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC. We want to thank them for their sponsorship of our black, women, and minority owned businesses that we do our remote live streams at. And we're going to be expanding that soon as we get my equipment and stuff all set up and ready to go for my remotes. And you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. If you have any needs for any cars, boats, houses, RVs, land, buildings, anything commercially or your personal, those are the people that you want to talk to. They can help you get better. So uh, I wish Randy, Commander, leave me alone. He's beat me up about my Lakers. But remember, they're not my Lakers until zero is gone. When zero is gone, I will wear my Lakers stuff. I will get all my stuff out of storage and wear my Lakers stuff. But until long as he's there, that's not happening. I'm a quasi Laker fan. Okay, I'm not a real Laker fan until he is no longer a part of the team. But you're still gonna rag on me about it. I already know. And yes, the Thunder are better shooters than the Lakers, even though 1 for 18 in the second half does not say that at all. Anyway, NFL news: Matt Ryan has been benched by the Colts, and I think that was more Ursay than anything else. Uh, he's pulling the Jerry Jones and meddling in his affairs of his team, uh, and it's going to end up costing the Colts. But he doesn't care. Because remember, his dad is the one that moved the Colts in the dead of night from Baltimore to Indianapolis. But anyway, but Matty Ice is not playing. Apparently he was hurt, but the other day they had him throw 40 times a couple weeks ago, and he comes back. Yeah, his arm's going to be shot. He's 30 something years old. You can't throw 40 times and turn around and think your shoulder's going to be great, ready to go the next week. It does not work that way. The Seattle Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf won't need surgery on his patella tendon, which is great news. Man, what a beast DK is. Everybody remembers last year when he tracked down Buda Baker and caught him from behind and saved a touchdown, and they ended up giving 3 points. And Seattle went on to win that game, by the way, against the Cardinals. Jets rookie running back Brees Hall suffers an ACL tear in their win over the Broncos. And I think he probably was going to be the offensive rookie of the year because he was just, I mean, the Jets had it great. They had a running game, great defense, limited passing in what they were asking Zach Wilson to do. But he was just an absolute monster. And I'm sorry to see that he has a season-ending injury, tearing his ACL. Man, that's a heartbreak for the Jets. And the Jets had been rolling all year. But that's what happens when franchises are kind of snake bitten, and they are one of those. Sorry to hear that. Oh, and the craziest news. I don't know if y'all saw this. When I saw this, I was like, what in the hell are these guys doing? The NFL is investigating side judge Jeff Lamberth and line judge Tripp Suter after it appeared they asked for uh, Mike Evans' autograph. Appeared, they asked for his autograph. If you go back and you look at the video, there's no question. I was like, what are you doing? Are you asking for a guy's autograph after the game? You just officiated? Really? Man. Now, that's not to say that they cheated because Tampa Bay just looked atrocious yesterday. They looked horrible. Had zero to do with the officiating. They just looked terrible. I mean, quite frankly, they looked absolutely horrendous. I mean, they really, really, really looked bad, and I felt completely sorry for them. It was awful. But yeah, they should be investigated. I mean, I understand you can be a fan, but you can't do that. Now, if you see him in the off season or something like that, then maybe you can do that. But come on, guys. Right after the game, I'm sure Mike Evans was like, "What is going on right now? What is happening?" My guy Ace back there is barking at the OG people. As long as he's barking at them and not trying to attack him going through the doggy door, I don't have a problem. He can bark because that's what he's supposed to do and protect the hacienda. That's his job. Tonight, we have. Is it a big game? Do we really want to call it? Do I even want to talk about it? I guess I have no choice, don't I? Oh, NFL Monday night. Bears, Patriots. Bears, Patriots. 7:15 tonight on ESPN, ESPN2. Patriots. What's up, baby? Good boy. Patriots -8, and then it's over under 40. And I I gotta watch the game because I have to talk about it with you guys tomorrow. But that's the bad part of doing this job is that we've got to watch games that we really don't want to watch. And then let's go see what Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. He has the Bears and Patriots. He's taking the under today. He's taking the Patriots or the under is what he's doing. He's not picking a team either way over this, but I think the Patriots will cover the 8 simply because you give Bill Belichick and a young quarterback, it's just not even close. They would just destroy them. In NBA tonight, there's some good games. The Bulls +6, the Grizzlies -1, and the Magic and the Knicks, he's taking the over in 222. Reminds me of Room 222, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Ace? It reminds you of Room 222. He's looking at me like, what the hell are you talking? What's Room 222? And for those old enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that being said, the NBA games tonight. Well, no, did we even? Yeah, we did. The NBA games tonight are really. Let me see. Here we go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. But anyway, the NBA games tonight. We have the Pacers at the Sixers, Raptors at the Heat, the Magic at the Knicks, Jazz, Rockets, Celtics, Bulls. I'm really interested to see that game. I really want to see that. The rest of these, I don't really. Well, the Raptors and Heat may be good. Jazz and Rockets, no. But the Celtics and Bulls on the NBA League Pass, definitely will try to watch that. Nets, Grizzlies. Yeah, I might tune in a little bit there to watch Kyrie and Ja go at it. Watch a little bit of that. Spurs, T-Wolves. That's just going to be a boring game between two boring styles of offense. Nuggets and the Blazers. I'd like to see that to see if our boy Dame does the same thing. Lakers are winning last night, minute to go, up 8. Dame hits a 3 and points at this time like it's Dame time, and that's exactly what it was. He took over and ended all of that. Now, Major League Baseball yesterday, I didn't want to talk about it, but I'm going to. My Yankees got swept by the Stros. It just was painful to watch. Just absolutely painful. Losing 4-0. But let's face it, the Stros have gone to 4 World Series in the last 6 years. Beat the Yankees 3 years in a row. Why? They're better. Pitching, hitting, everything. They're better than the Yankees. That's why they won. Now, when the year that they cheated, that's completely different. But this year they were just absolutely better than the Yankees. And the 4-0 says it. Just overpowered us on all phases, hitting, pitching, defense, just everything. The Yankees going down at home, being swept, and there's nothing like losing a game and somebody celebrating in your facility. That hurts worse than anything when someone's celebrating at your house, in your clubhouse, that they just beat you and they're celebrating a championship. Or, yeah, I guess it's a championship. It's the ALCS. The Phillies and the Padres, Bryce Harper He's just a beast. he's just he's a beast. He just is. Glad to see him finally get back to the World Series, and hopefully he will be able to do something for the Phillies. And he is hot right now, and their bats are hot. And when we go look at the brackets and see how it was done, when you look at the Phillies, 2-0, 3-1, 4-1. I mean, they are just got hot. They were like the Braves last year. Braves had, 83 wins, came all the way through, and got hot at the last 15 games. They got hot, and they just walked right through and won the World Series. The Phillies are doing the exact same thing. They got hot at the end and just are rolling. Remember, they were in the same conference as the Braves and the Mets, and they just rolled right on through 2-0 St. Louis and just smashed them. Came back, smashed Atlanta. Now Atlanta did only hit 169 or one something stupid as a team, but that's irrelevant. That has to do with pitching and defense. And the Phillies, of course, take care of business with the Padres 4-1. On the other side, the Houston Astros were the best team in the National League. I mean, the American League, no question. All year long, 103 wins, 4 wins. They were the best team all year long, and you could see uh, they beat Seattle 2-0. They beat Seattle 3-0. Seattle after beating the Blue Jays. They went 3-0, didn't even get close. 4-0, didn't even get close. The Yankees didn't get close. So when you look at it, they're 7-0. They're yet to lose in the postseason. Yet to lose in the postseason. I don't think they'll be able to beat the Phillies 4-0, but we shall see how that works. If there is, what's going to happen with that. Now, remember, Game 1 this Friday on FS1 or on Fox. The time will be determined because it is Friday, so that's 5 days away, 4 days away. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. But I'm glad Drew did not come on today because he would be brutalizing me right now about the Yankees. But the Stros are just doing what the Stros are doing. They're playing great. They did everything they needed to do. They're 7-0. They've got pitching. They've got hitting. They've got everything. And, of course, that first game will be at home. So we'll see what happens with that. And NBA scores, you can see that we went over the NBA scores from yesterday. We went over that. It's just brutal. When I come back and just look and think about our Thunder, man, we're good, but we're just not quite there yet. But I hope everybody gets a chance to come to games. And like I said, please support our Thunder. I mean, we're only losing by 10. The game was really out of hand. It was worse than that. But I think if you start coming to watch them, it'll be more. I don't know why I don't have the NFL scores this week. They should be up there. I don't know why they're not. Let's see if we can fix all that. I know I can. You guys just gonna have to just wait with me for a second. But the way I look at the Thunder and what they're doing is really simple. The Thunder and what we can do. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Y'all just gotta be patient with me. I will get this deal done. I know what I need to do. You guys are just going to have to deal with me for just a second. Y'all going to see how I do this. This is going to be kind of cool. You come in, you go boom, you add this, you pop up the image, you do over here. This is what I do that you are now watching me do. I normally wouldn't do this, but I've got to get my NFL scores up for this week, which I don't know why I didn't have those on there. I'm having issues. I try enjoying doing this. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun watching me do this? I know it is. I know y'all like me doing this. So y'all see how I do it. And I'll pop that up and I delete. Well, okay. Well, no, I don't want to remove that. And then here you go. Browns. Here we go. We're looking at it. The Browns and Ravens yesterday. Lamar, I'm sitting there looking at, man, what are you doing, Lamar? You're going to have to get this done. Buccaneers, Panthers, 21-3. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of in a hurry because I know that OG&E is about, and my power backup is going to cut out on me here pretty soon. So I'm trying to go through all this as fast as possible. Falcons, Bengals. Falcons. I mean, Joe Burrow was just on fire yesterday, but of course the Falcons were missing two of their defensive back cornerback. So Joe Burrow did throw for 480 yards or whatever, but let's face it, it wasn't really like he really was playing against the number one team. Uh, Lions, Cowboys, the Cowboys. The game was closer than what it did. And how about number 11, Micah Parsons, coming from behind, stopping the guy just short of the touchdown. Next play, fumble. They get the ball, drive down the field, score a touchdown, and basically put the game away. So the Lions, the game was closer than what it was showing. Giants, once again, they're winning. Once again, it's unbelievable. The fact they're 6-1, it just cracks me up. Chiefs, Mahomes doing Mahomes things. He now has 8 games of 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, trailing only behind, of course, Marino, Brady, Drew Brees, and the record is 12 by Drew Brees, but they set theirs in 260, and he's played in 70. And the crazy thing about him right now, he's 56-14, which ties. I know people don't even remember this guy, Kenny the Snake Stabler, quarterback number 12 for the Oakland Raiders. Finally got in the Hall of Fame. It was long overdue because people hated Al Davis and hated the Raiders. That's why took him so long. But anyway, Mahomes has tied his record. 56-14 is the best start. Most wins in his first 70 games. I don't see anybody coming close to that anytime soon. Packers, Aaron Rodgers, once again, I'm sorry, Adam Kim. He's just not a come behind guy. Mahomes 13-9. He's 200 points ahead of the closest guy to him, which is Tom Brady at 39.7, and of course Joe Montana had a 37% winning percentage. Went down by 10 points or more and coming back. But Patrick Mahomes is ridiculous at 12-9 or 13-9. Sorry. Let me see. What was that? Oh, Colts and Titans. The Colts. I mean, Matty Ice. The Colts are just a dumpster fire. Anytime the owner starts getting involved in the program, that's not good for the program. The Colts will suffer. Losing to the Titans 19-10. Texans 20, Raiders 38. Raiders got their stuff together finally, and they're a good team. To me, they're a scary, scary team because they've got talent all over the place, but they seem to penalties and different things seem to shoot themselves in the foot. But the Raiders have a very good team. They're extremely, extremely scary, I think. Jets 16-9 over the Broncos. The Broncos are just the Broncos. They're just not very good. I don't know what they're going to do to change things up, but they're going to have to do something. The Seahawks and the Chargers. Chargers took care of business once, or got their butts beat by the Seahawks. Excuse me, the Seahawks took care of business once again. And Geno, 107 passer rating, leading the league. I mean, who saw this coming? Nobody. But guess what it is? It's the NFL. It's not for long. Not for long that you play great and not for long that you play bad. I guess that's what they want to call it. But Geno just having a career year. Nobody expected this out of him. Nobody expected them to do this. Steelers, Dolphins, Kenny Pickett. We're going to find out what Kenny Pickett is or isn't really, really soon. I don't know how much longer that they're going to go with him. I do. The rest of the year. Because you've got to know what you have. But you can't really judge. Then remember Peyton Manning was horrible his rookie year. Threw 20-something interceptions? It was terrible. But Kenny Pickett will get better. And I was listening to Colin, he was talking about he's 24. And 24 ain't got nothing to do with it. There's no age and experience are not mutually together. They're mutually exclusive. They're different. You can be older, but if you haven't played, you still got to go play. I don't care. You got to get the reps. You got to get the games in. You just got to. There's no way around it. You got to have it. You got to do it. So we shall see what's going to happen with that. So that I'm going to take off now and get off the air because I'm going to try to get off before, like I said, OG&E knocked on the door. They're doing power deals in my neighborhood today. Thank you. I'm glad that they told me about it because if they didn't, I would not have known, and I would have started at my normal time and did that. So, but I'm glad we got the show in. It was kind of quick. It wasn't as fluid as I would have liked. But that being said, we at least got to get together, and I got to give you my thoughts and some of the process about what happened this past weekend. And we did. You know what? We got to do this real quick. I've got to get this in. Hopefully, I can. The college games this week. I'm gonna try to hurry up and get this in. Uh, Ohio State just smashed Iowa. Texas at OSU. What a great game that was. Of course, the Cowboys ranked ninth, won 44. Uh, my guy Mike Deba and I were at the game. He's just Deba's Deba. Those of y'all that know him, you know what I mean. Syracuse and Clemson. Syracuse gave Clemson the game. Absolutely gave them the game. It was a crazy game, but you know what? You gotta have luck sometimes in order to win a championship. You still gotta be lucky. UCLA got smashed by Oregon, and they only dropped 4 spots. You gotta be 15 points, and you only drop 4 spots. How is that? How is that? Ole Miss and LSU. LSU just took care of business. Ole Miss didn't drop that far either, and LSU was just quietly tied with Alabama in the West, and at 6-2. At 6-2, Brian Kelly doing a fantastic job over there. Mississippi State, Alabama. I just felt sorry for Mike Leach and those guys after Alabama lost to Tennessee. You knew it was going to be a beatdown. This game was over early, and Alabama just put it to them. And of course, everybody kind of expected that since they lost to Tennessee last week. Kansas State and TCU. TCU is, I don't know, they're knocking out every quarterback. They hurt Spencer Sanders. They've hurt every quarterback they played against. I don't know if they're doing it. I don't know what's going on with that, but they've hurt every quarterback. But fortunately, they are playing at home. And I'm not saying Gary Patterson is a dirty coach and teach them dirty things, because he is not. But anyway, TCU's getting lucky that they're playing home every time. They are the 7th-ranked team in the country, beating K-State 28-38, coming behind once again. And then Memphis and Tulane. I like Tulane. I like their staff. I like their players, especially after watching them play last year. I was completely impressed with what I saw from them. In the Big 12 standings, TCU 4-0, ranked 7th in the country, 7-0 overall. Oklahoma State, of course, ranked 9th, 3-1, only lost to TCU at TCU 6-1. K-State 3-1, only loss TCU 5-2 overall. Texas 3-2, 5-3. They are a pretty good team, but he's got to get that defense figured out. OSU coming back, only giving up 3 points in the second half after Texas really putting it on us in the first half. OSU, of course, got to give the coaches credit for coming back and making adjustments at halftime. Baylor 2-2, 4-3. Texas Tech 2-2, 4-3. KU 2-3, 5-3 overall. They're falling back to who we kind of thought that they were. KU is. OU 1-3. We'll see after their bye this week, after they beat Kansas. We'll see what they do, and tomorrow we'll talk about the upcoming schedule this week. OU 4-3 overall. West Virginia 1-2, 3-4. Iowa State 0-4 and 3-4. So that's the Big 12 now. That's it. I'm not going to stretch my time because I'm afraid everything's just going to go black. All of a sudden it cut off. So you know what? I'm going to have to invest in another power supply. That's what I'm going to have to do. But anyway, that being said, thank you everybody for joining this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark. Stay dry, stay